Anyone can pick up a corn snake, and if it turns around and bites you, it's done at the end of the world. I suppose it shows a bit of experience and a bit of handling skill to be able to handle more dangerous animals. But yeah, I like a challenge, you know. My name's Mark Dainty, and I'm the Deputy Section Head on the Reptiles and Invertebrate section. Come on, girl. I've been at the park about 6 months now, but previous to that I ran another reptile collection in a different zoo. Well, first thing in the morning is to come down, for me, is to clean the giant tortoise out. Well, the giant tortoise, there's quite a few different varieties. The main ones that everyone knows are the Galapagos giant tortoise. The ones we've got here are the Aldabran giant tortoise, which come from the Aldabra Atoll, which is an island north of the Seychelles. They're the largest tortoise in the world. We've got 4 animals, 1 male and 3 females. The only one we know definite on age is George, our male, and George is 60. They can get up to 200 years and plus in the wild, so George is relatively still young, really, and the schemes of things. Well, I first got into reptiles when my mum and dad brought me a snake book when I was 5 for Christmas, and I've still got the book now, actually. Right, this was the book. It had a lot of the venomous snakes in here, which was my favourite anyway, and still is, so it was quite interesting to me as a young lad. There's a lot of aggression within reptiles, which I like aggressive animals. I like animals that will stand up for themselves. So a lot of reptiles will do that. So their first line of defence is attack, really. So that's always interested me.
Just heard that the crocs are fighting again, so we're going to have a quick look, make sure everything's okay. My name's Erie Gill, and I'm the section head for the lower vertebrates and invertebrates department. We cover anything from Georgia, the Aldabran tortoise, to leafcutter ants. Here at the park we've got Morlet's crocodiles, which are the only ones in the UK. Morlet's crocodiles are from sort of Belize, Honduras area, and generally you'll have a dominant male and then you have a harem of females. At the moment we've got the male and 2 females, just 3 at the moment. And it's a great achievement for us here that we've actually recently bred them. We've actually removed the eggs that the females have laid and tried to artificially incubate them, which has created a bit of a problem because the females have made their own territories, which is causing a few issues because we have a set of heat and UV lights at one end and a cooler end at the other. So one animal isn't actually getting enough UV and enough heat to thermoregulate, which is causing a few minor problems. They're fighting a little. The way to solve this problem is to remove the scent of the eggs. So we're looking at catching all 3 specimens up, removing the scent by cleaning the enclosure thoroughly, and hopefully that'll kill their maternal instinct. We don't very often get to catch animals like this up, so while we've got them out, we'll give them a full health check. We'll get the vets involved to give them a once-over, make sure everything's okay. Look at the superficial wounds that have been caused by the females to each other. Well, it all seems to be okay for now, so fingers crossed that's all we'll see today as far as they're concerned. Often you find reptile keepers in institutions like this do have their own private collection as well, so they go to work and work with reptiles and then go home and obviously look after their animals as well. So it's a 24-hour job essentially.
This is my California king snake called Sally, named by my mum years ago. She's the first snake I ever had, so she's quite special. So yeah, and this year I'm going to try and breed her. I've only ever attempted once before, and she actually tried to eat the male. But here we've got a male about the same size. He's quite a good sized male, so we're going to put them together this year. Just, it's always nice to breed off your animals, to know that they're all being looked after properly. If they can breed, you're obviously doing a good job with them, you know. All right, in this one, we've got a couple of invertebrates. The first one is what's called a solifuge, and they eat a lot of small invertebrates, anything they can overpower really. They're also one of the quickest invertebrates over land, if not the quickest. It's about 16 miles an hour, which means anything they can run faster than and overpower, they will eat. And in this one, we have a king baboon tarantula. It's an African species. Spends most of the time under the ground, but they have a very aggressive and nervous disposition. If you see that, so any foreign object that's put in, he will try and kill. How's it going, Spike? Alright. And in this one is something called a Mexican parrot snake. They've got quite a lovely fret display. They open the mouth just in case something tries to harm them. They're not shy of biting at all, you know. They'll have a good strike at you. Come on then.
I was quite pleased when the crocs laid the eggs, because I think breeding crocodiles in captivity is not the easiest thing to do. In fact, we've achieved it here at the park. Oh well, we've got a couple hatching. There were slight concerns on the number of eggs she had, because obviously placing the juveniles.
How many eggs we got?
39 from one female, 9 from the other.
They're definitely pipping then.
Yeah.
We just gotta hope they hatch.
I think they're all going to go any day.
Would we hoping to have all of them hatched out over the next week?
A few days. But yeah, once they start hatching, they normally all hatch together.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. There should be some healthy young crocodiles in there.
We're just going to have a look at underneath one of the eggs. One of the eggs have come full term. We're about to hatch out. We're just going to make sure the embryo's okay. Well, not the embryo anymore, but the full juvenile's okay. So we're just going to sterilise some tools to make sure if it's clean, and then we'll have a crack at it. How's it going?
What's happening? I basically provide backup because I'm interested. I enjoy getting involved in everything. I'm just a nosy bugger that gets around a bit. If someone needs help and I can help, I like to be involved. I pop up everywhere really.
There's someone in there, yeah. It's moving quite a bit.
There's the tail, and it's just below the back of the tail.
It's up here somewhere, yeah?
Yeah, it's up in there.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. There's something else on the left then.
Dark shape here, which goes to the light over there, look.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
as in a tail, a leg.
That's a tail, yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a tail curving round here.
Curling around the bottom of the egg.
Yeah.
I can see the scales as well on the top of the. I can see actual form scales as well here. Oh, brilliant!
The reptiles have a bad press because I think they're scaling. The fact that certain species have caused fatalities across the world, and I think those things like that, are pushed into the light, and people are more aware of those issues as opposed to other things that reptiles are, to be honest. Okay, we're in the venomous room, behind the scenes at the reptile house, and we're just doing some day-to-day maintenance. And there's quite a few misconceptions out there that people think about, especially snakes, to be honest. I think it stems back from the old Adam and Eve and the apple. But I mean, things like people assume that all snakes are venomous, which they're not. Just immaterial things like that, really. Okay, these two are spitting cobras. As a defence, these animals are able to spit venom as well as inject it for a bite. So we take precautions wearing spectacles.
What's my setting?
There.
The reptile house is a bit of a special case because at the moment they've got 2 senior members of staff and 1 junior who hasn't finished his probation yet. Once he finishes probation, he'll be trained up to help him with the venomous snakes and the other large reptiles, which the park has deemed need 2 people there just as a matter of protection and security in case something happens.
Get all the best jobs.
I have a bit of an interest in reptiles, a minor knowledge, but I'm just quite keen, and they quite happy to call upon me to back them up. I tend not to flap as well, which they seem to like.
And the final one we've been cleaning out is the female coral cobra. This one's a bit more feisty, as you can hear. Psychologically, people behave differently when handling a non-venomous species to a venomous species, and that's part of getting experience with them. I mean, you've got to know in yourself that you're capable of dealing with these animals safely. Okay, that's the female. You know in yourself, you know margin yourself, risks not to take straight away. Dealing with these animals, you need to be calm, which ensures the animal's calm. If you're an erratic handler, essentially, you're going to make the animal respond in a way you don't want it to, which could lead to a bite. A lot of people keep reptiles, especially for the macho image, and I think you have to look beyond that. You really do have to get rid of that attitude if you're going to work with dangerous animals safely, because it will get the better of you one day. You need to appreciate what these animals are and the potential damage they can cause. Okay, that's how we safely deal with venomous snakes at the Cotswold Wildlife Park.
The social side of the park, it surprised me actually. It's quite good, much, but obviously we all get on, and there's a lot of us live on site together as well. So you know, you're never on your own. There's always someone around. There's always someone doing something. For example, tonight we're all going to football together, so it's all right. It's not too bad. It started with just James going actually. Then Jamie Craig went, and then they made me go, and now we've coloured Roger into it, Mark into it. Even Chris Green came with us last week. You know, so it's great. We've actually grown a team out of just two people going. When we're all together, we don't generally talk about work a great deal. I mean, we do. You can never get away from it, and it's not one of them jobs you don't want to. It's a vocational one, you know. Yeah. We've got lives as well. Don't we?
Oh, we've got one out. That's the only one out at the moment. You can hear them calling. Just to say to the mother that I'm here and can you take me down to the water, really? As he calls, the others call. It sort of stimulates them to get them going as well. And it stimulates them to come out of the egg as they call. That was quite exciting, just to start with, yeah. All right. 3 days ago, we had our first Morlet's crocodile hatch out. Today we've gone in and we've now got 8.
So we're just about to weigh the crocodiles, measure the crocodiles. 215 millimetres.
215, this one is, isn't it? Next one.
Next one is 28. 210 millimetres.
Okay, you just take a photograph of me holding the babies?
Yeah, no worries, mate. Great. Say cheese.
Cheese.
There we go, mate.
This one hatching, we're up to 9 youngsters now. So we'll move him next door with the rest of the group now. Keep an eye on them. Potentially 34 in total. What runs through my mind the whole time is how many more are going to hatch. So the more and more I see hatching out, is more and more happier I get. But then I do have to sit back and think, where are these animals going to go eventually, which worries me a little bit.
Right, well, this morning we've got to catch our adult crocodiles up, our 3 Morlex crocodiles. We're going to be microchipping, measuring and weighing them. But as part of this, we've got to have a bit of a team talk and a bit of a chat of what's going to happen. As catching crocs is fairly easy, but it has to go right the first time.
Okay, these are inner tubing which we've cut up and we're going to use to secure the jaws of the croc. And we've got a hole in chip again, just for spares in case any of them decide to break or the croc decides to snap them, but just backups, really.
When catching crocodiles, it's quite important that we do it all very quickly and first time. Crocodiles can get build up of lactic acid in the muscles when stressed and moved around, so this can be quite dangerous to them. So it's quite important we all get in, we know what we're doing, and we do it quickly.
This is the rope we're going to use to create a noose to put over the croc's head to bring him onto land from the water, and then that's where we'll be able to deal with him and restrain him safely.
First of all, we're going to sort all our morning duties out, which mine is doing the tortoise as well. So we'll get these done first, and then we'll get up to the crocodiles.
Are you free? Because we're just moving the crates and then we're ready to catch crocs. Could you possibly give us a hand moving the crates?
Yeah, I just got to finish my section and I'll be over.
To catch the crocodiles, it's quite a simple method, really.
Ready?
We use jaw ropes, which is just basically a noose tied into a rope. Throw it over the jaws. The crocodiles will always snap onto it, which helps us. And then you've pretty much got them then. The rope floats. Got it.
It's in his mouth, isn't it? No.
The problem comes in, he won't actually bite onto it. Normally, the aggressive side of it, they bite on, you're away, but he won't, he just backs off. And the rope floats as well.
Got him? All right, Rob.
Right, we've got a jaw rope on rather than round the neck, all right? But he shouldn't make any odds. Okay? What's your legs? Right, I'll come this way.
Take him that way. Okay, blindfolds.
Right, now Todd.
Right, you happy, Mark?
He's building up, wait, just wait 2 seconds. Feel his legs building up, look. See his back legs? Yeah? It's alright, let him roll. That's cool. Gonna roll again in a minute. You rely on a lot of instinct-driven behaviours as you're catching crocodiles.
Here, if you want, pass us that.
Tail again, mate. The tail needs to come out top. Say you've got the rope and you're pulling the croc towards you, you rely on him pulling away. If it shows any behaviours that he's going to charge you, then you know you've got nothing between you and the crocodile, so that can be quite hazardous. Right, can I have a broom? But if he runs at me, then we place a blindfold over the head.
You got him, Mark?
No.
He's going in.
To minimise stress and so they can't see which angle you're coming from. And then someone will jump on the croc from behind to stop the croc from rolling and just to put more weight on. It's got to be quick now because I think it's the only time we're going to get a draw.
Right, we're going in already?
You ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Okay.
Everybody on?
Yeah, hang on. Right. Can you bring your hands around it?
Where do you want me?
To hold his snout shut. So I can't hold it shut, I do this at the same time.
I don't know.
You want to put this back?
Right, no croc is getting them off his jaws, man, I promise. Right, take the blindfold off now. He cannot go near the water though, all right? You can't be scared of crocodiles if you're going to work with them. Not saying it to be macho in any way, but if you're scared of them, they'll sense it, and then they make life harder for you. No.
It's building up, it's building up.
So you've got to be confident around them, and you've got to show an air of confidence, and that does help you.
Put your whole arms underneath.
Steady, go.
Hold him, hold him.
Yep. Let him settle. Now go. Yeah, that should be good. You okay then? You measuring? Yeah.
Go off, man.
7'2", mate.
Large pet scales. I bet they never weighed a crocodile before, will they? Well, I'll get him in that box then. Right. 48.65.
Nearly 50 then.
We're going to do a complete health check on the female crocs as well. We've had a couple of problems with them in the enclosure where they've been fighting and whatnot. This is one of the main reasons why we've caught them up, is to bring them out of the enclosure, give the enclosure a complete clean, so it removes all sort of scent of territories and whatnot. And when we do put them back in again, we're hoping peace will be restored.
Well, as for a sense of danger with working with the animals we work with, it is quite enjoyable. It must be, yeah.
One, two, three.
It's not why I got into it, and it's not why I do it. But yeah, it's different again, and it shows another level of skill. If you're working hands-on with dangerous and potentially lethal animals, yeah, there is another area of enjoyment there. It's quite strange, really.
There we go. Okay, bye. Woohoo!
That's cold.
I do quite enjoy it. The adrenaline's there as well, I suppose.
Well, I'm going to go home.
All right, thanks for your help.
Cheers, Mark.
That's right.
See you tomorrow.
So, yeah. It's a laugh, isn't it?